No topic left untouched. Much respect.
It's your boy Scoonie, used to get high as coolie. Now I spit moody, make beats that super groovy. See, Willin' that sticky, told me Spoon is no biggie. So I sample Biggie, grab a drink and got tipsy. Rock with me for
What's going on?
Peace. What up, y'all?
What it do? Back at it with another one. You know what I'm saying? Last one was a little heated, a little hot.
To the 15s, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it do, man. Hit the 15s, your boy Echo. You know what I'm saying? Articulate one and Sage the Fifth. You know what I'm saying? All representing that Vegas. Want to go to you at a different perspective, talking about topics, you know what I'm saying, that people, you know, really don't want to get into or don't care about, or they talk about it for a few seconds. But if, again, you know, we want to always send out that beginning thing. Hey, if you like it, please share it. Please subscribe. Hit the bell. Chime in so you get it all. Respond. Send us topics. Send your points. Could be wrong. Everything we say here is just our point of view, how we feel about it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's one of the things about living in our country is we stick by our amendment. And free speech is one of them. And so, you know, we want to get into something, something my nephew brought up to me, actually, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Before we even go into it, about him, how y'all feeling? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. As always, man, I'm ready to talk. Shit, let's see what's happening. Where could this go? You know what I'm saying? What we talking about today?
Well, this is what he said to me. He brought up to me because he been watching our episodes and everything, but he said, you know what, man? He straight up told me, he said, man, you know, you want to get our generation up? Now, you know me, my ears open. I'm like, okay, yeah, what's up? What you got? Everything you talking about is cool, but that's for old folks, man. That's for y'all age. You know, for me, like my situation, I have an issue. I'm like, you know, what's the issue? And you know, my nephew 23, no, his nephew 20, maybe 26. Something like that, man. He has an issue with relationships. You know, he has an issue with trusting women. You know what I'm saying? And he asked me, bottom line, he says, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a man in the house. You like my only male role model. You know what I'm saying? That I really know that, you know, is living what I feel is a righteous life by his family, by God, etc. So he says, you know what I'm saying? How do I have a relationship with a woman? You know what I'm saying? How at this age I can have a, you know what I'm saying? Because he says I have a problem. I have a problem with a lot of different stuff. He's went on as far as the image of, and this is to show me how powerful his mind is. He said the women today, they want to be the Nicki Minaj. He said, look, you go out right now, I can go to the mall, everybody fingernails is like Nicki Minaj or Cardi B's. You know, he said everybody got they hair a certain way. Like this is, you know, dress a certain way. I don't want no woman like that. You know what I'm saying? So like how did you get what you get? You know, and my only thing I can answer for him at that time, bro, is we grew up under something different.
You ain't old enough.
We had those type of girls back then. I said our era, they was called fast. You feel me? They was fast in the ass. You know, there was some, you know, hoods, you call them hood rats, or you know, had various different labels. But we had fast women too. But I said for me is that I had my mom there. That was for me. I said I saw what the good things about mom, bad things about mom, but the more important things, I saw what my mom neglected, what my mother didn't have. You know what I'm saying? And off of those things, I want to make sure whoever I dealt with had those things. A real good communication, not just having fun, not just, you know, we had sex all day and that's the greatest thing of our lives and stuff like, because unfortunately that's the issue with today. And he recognizes it. Like that's what it is. He said relationships are based off on the sex, what's in the bed. People don't even want to get married because they don't know how you're going to do in the bed. You know what I'm saying? That's deep. But this is in a mind frame. So, you know, like that's what I gave him was what looking at my mother, looking at my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what could you know, that was my beginning point. There was other nuggets, but for me starting off with my example is that's what I had. Now saying that, nephew didn't have the same thing.
What he have?
Man, he might get mad at me, man, if I go there. Man. He had one doing drugs, you know what I'm saying, and one wasn't giving him, I believe, the nurturing that he should have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say who or what or however, whatever. I'm just saying it to where what I feel my nephew did not receive in seeing, because what was lacked helped him develop to where he ended up in prison. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he didn't have a father. His father wasn't there. His father's from Oakland, from the Bay. He didn't have the dads, and for me being the uncle, this is what I know was in the house. He had one, not even a stepdad, but one mom boyfriend that he didn't work. He stayed in the house, cooked, cleaned, did homework, picked up. Today that's normal. People will recognize that today, whatever. But when it came down to money, your boy wasn't going to get it. I have an issue with that. That's not my business, though. The other one couldn't stay out of prison. You know what I'm saying? Ex-gang member, did some dirt, warrants. You know what I'm saying? He loved her so much that he went to jail on her behalf because it was so comfortable. I have a problem with that. Bro, if you're that comfortable where you can go to jail and just leave your family, there is a red flag there. But this is what my nephew has grown up around. When it came down to, okay, you the uncle, Eric, and I'm saying this ahead of time. You the uncle. How come you didn't go get him? After summers, my wife can tell you, come get him. He spent summer with me, do these things. No. I can't make him do it right. I can't tell her, put a gun in her head, look, he gonna come with me. That's kidnapping. So I just played the cards and dealt with it. So that was the situation. So that's one example of a young man, and a lot of our young men have many similar situations.
I'm starting to sense a common theme, man, in the conversations we keep having. It doesn't seem like it depends. It doesn't matter what topic it is. It always boils back down to the theory of you. And with the theory of you, I don't know if anyone's looked into anything like that, but the theory of you relatively is talking about what you bring to the table, the energy you put off, and what comes back to you. Mm-hmm. And without knowing who you really are, it's hard for you to be able to give yourself to someone and expect them to be able to give themselves back to you equally.
I would agree.
I totally agree.
It's hard for you to pick a good mate. It's hard for you to pick a good mate if you don't know who you are.
Exactly.
And that's where it goes. Even like I said, man, a lot of this stuff connects, and I agree. But like what I said in the last episode about, man, the reality for me, I think we have to start back from the root. Understand, this is the stuff that we need to be taught. I understand, like math is very something important and all that different stuff and learning that, but it's important for if they're not gonna give it to us, we teach this information because we now understand today. Master P, of all people, I'm about to say, Master P said it so clearly and so simple and so plain. He said they done took off the shackles off of our wrists and ankles and put it in our brain. I would never forget when I heard that and thought it was, damn. Like this P, of all people, wasn't the greatest lyricist, but he said this off of a freestyle that I look at today like, wow. Okay, what do you mean by that? And now what I'm saying, I have to say this, that this has over time systematically has affected our people. So yes, that's why I like this, because we talk about even the last episode, you know what I'm saying, it even for myself, bro, because we're triggering things that I've never talked to nobody about. I've never sat down. Let's build on this. Let's talk about this situation or anything like that. Most of the time, I'm on a defense angle because I've heard somebody who's not in the issue or been in the situation speaking like the media. You know what I'm saying? And trying to give their input. Enough with that. We have to take back control. So we identify one thing right there is that it starts with you, right?
Absolutely.
It starts with you. So that's something that we all can agree on. Man, I think that might be one of the biggest firsts in tapping history right now, right? It starts with you. It starts with the individual, like myself. Like I told him, with me, you know your granddaddy. Grandpa wasn't there for me. You know the history. You know what I'm saying? To where, man, he wasn't there for you like that. He was better there for my mama. It's pretty much when I come to asking him something, it's gonna be rare if there is anything. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, Trey.
Okay, so if you have no example of how to be in a relationship, and the other thing that I think I see, I'm not outside of that generation, but from the outside looking in, it seems like there are very few examples of people who are less than 30 who even are moving in that direction. At least within our community, there's a small select percentage of people who are looking for husbands, who are looking for husbands and wives, or long-term relationships, or romance, or
perfect example. My youngest daughter, my youngest daughter, literally says, "My generation does not believe in marriage," to the point where not only am I not thinking about marriage, like I might not even be thinking about kids. I might not even be thinking about carrying on a legacy. Period. You know what I'm saying? And it's scary because
my oldest daughter was the same way. She didn't want no children.
It's scary. It's scary because Elon Musk said, y'all worried about these robots taking over, and y'all worried about all of these different things that's gonna be destroying the world. But what y'all really need to be worried about is there ain't enough people on Earth to continue growth in the way the Earth is supposed to be.
Yeah, but that's not what they want. That's a whole.
We see that right now. No, maybe off topic, but some of the topic we kind of see that with COVID.
It's population control. Period. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But if there aren't enough people, then what would be the purpose of getting rid of people?
I mean, who knows what the other reasons of, people have for their deceit and evilness. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it could be boiled down to. But I'm just saying that the man and the woman unit coming together
is a bigger deal than technology and all of that.
Totally, because it's disappearing. And all the technology you could be scared of, we ain't gonna be here to even enjoy it.
Now, would you say that it is? And I never thought about that until right now, and that's why it's so dangerous. Like, this is one thing I can be honest about, that is universal, right? However, because there's not enough substantial people, it's not many. Mm-hmm. We're declining ourselves even smaller
every day.
Culturally,
and it's like
it's cooler to not be married.
So let me ask you a question.
Which is
and this is why I love that he asked this question.
That's insane.
Because that lets us know that there's still a chance, bro. There's still those who think in that way. You know what I'm saying?
You're also talking to a multi-billionaire tech guy. So he might.
No, I'm referring to my nephew.
Oh, your nephew.
Like, for him to be at that age, man, and still.
No. That's definitely encouraging for sure. It's definitely encouraging.
That's really great.
I think we should break it down a little bit further, though. Let me say this. I understand what he's saying about these fast girls, as you stated. Like, so there's this thing, right? Like, natural selection, and what you attract, right? And
some science
things, what you attract, natural selection. The reason why I'm attracted to a person's jawbone is because identifiably I feel like this person is somebody I can mate with, and we will produce a certain sperm that's going to allow us to be able to move our genes on progressively throughout the world, right? That's why we select who we select. It's because we think that it's like, ooh, she got a fat booty, she got a fat, look at her breasts, they so nice and voluptuous. No, what you're identifying with is someone that you know that you could be able to birth children with, and that they are going to be able to carry your DNA on to a certain level, and that's just the way it is. Whether you believe it or not, that is that.
I understand. I know the idea behind behind natural selection, but natural selection would come into play when you remove the cultural and social influences.
Of course. Like you can't not have these other influences and not have them influence what your everyday decision is.
Right.
Absolutely correct. But I'm talking about what's in us. What's innate within the way that we do our
Absolutely.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
What do you consider important, and that's how you choose your mate.
Exactly.
You choose a guy with a big chin because you think this guy can protect you and whoop the ass of everybody else.
Exactly.
You pick the dude.
And that's that thought
You pick
process.
the dude who's super nerdy because you think his smarts will save your life or whatever it is.
Perception.
You pick the dude who is this way, who's crafty because you know smarts and craftiness.
Exactly. So when you have every place you go, it's a woman twerking in your face, and that's all the selection you got. Is you got twerk contests or wet t-shirt.
Now
contests.
your natural selection can only choose from the
You're,
wet t-shirt.
first of all, you're putting yourself in situations where this is all you're gonna see. Like, I want to go to Freaknik, right? What's gonna happen at Freaknik?
It can't happen tonight, but I
Freaknik is happening February, so stop.
It's a family
They
event.
brought Freaknik back.
Yes,
It's a
it's
family
happening.
event.
Kimberly is going in
A
February.
family event.
It's a family event.
So you're raising your children to be
No,
free?
you can
Trust
bring
me.
your kids with you.
Trust me, it's
Oh,
gonna be Freaknik too.
There's no way I would bring
But that's my
child.
point, though. Is what I'm trying to say is
It's
you're
not
putting
gonna be the
yourself
same.
in those situations. You know what I'm saying? Like you are what you consume. So, for example, you are what you eat. Like when you on Plenty of Fish and you're on Tinder, you perpetrating the culture hookup right there. Like you're not getting out and meeting someone with the intentions of possibly furthering your future with someone. Your first contact is she's shaking her ass in your face.
But what if your intentions, sounds like nephews? What if your intention is to find maybe wife, a long-term girlfriend, a real relationship?
Somebody you wanna confide in.
But you
Not no booty.
But you have 50 girls around you. 40 of them are cute, and none of them seem like they're even worth a second date. Mm-hmm. So then, the pool around you is extremely shallow, close to none, and now you need to go to a different state outside your race, a different culture. You need to find another way in order to make this connection, because when I deal with straight black women who don't have a lesbian tendency, who don't have purple hair, whose fingernails they can actually use and function and do things with, who is somebody I can introduce to the homies without explaining and giving the disclaimer before
Wondering
you
if
see
they
it,
know her.
and smash twice already, all of them type of things, to where by the time you give these basic kind of like, I just want a girl who's gonna be for me, who's at least her body count is nobody I know. Can we keep it less than whatever your number is? And when you go through these basic kind of ideas of what kind of woman you might want to date, you can't think of anybody who even fits that.
Let me challenge you guys.
So what would be a beginning solution?
I was just getting ready to say, let me challenge you guys real quick. Where would you go right now? Say, for example, you're not in the church. Where would you go right now to meet a wholesome girl?
A wholesome girl?
Someone that you could bring home to mom, that you would not be ashamed to present it to your fellas. Where could you go right now? We'll use Las Vegas.
I don't think there's a specific place, because I'm a person who will tell you, I've heard that all my life about the church, and you can find a wholesome girl. Man, that's not always true.
I agree. I totally agree.
First of all, everybody to church sins.
I'm just saying for people that do not go to church, where would you go look for some woman at?
Man,
The gym?
really, what I know now,
The gym?
The gym.
Now, let me tell you something about the gym.
The park.
You approaching a woman at a gym, she's automatically looking at you like a pervert.
I agree. But it happens all the time. How about
it's
this?
how you do it.
How about this?
Not all of them automatically think that, because let me be honest with you, they're looking like you're looking.
That's kind of why they're there. So.
That's why they're there. They're looking for. They're looking like you're looking, but they approach.
And there's ways to there's ways to do it. For example, if you are the fitness instructor, now she has a reason to come and ask you questions before and after class. Now this is less of a creep move because some of this onus is on her. If you're a dedicated gym rat and all you do is kind of nod to her and go on about your business, and you hope that you get to see her tomorrow or the next day, maybe your dedication and you're ignoring her gives you a small window in. It happens all day, every day. You have to meet people.
It's not.
You have to meet people where you want to be.
To them,
like I talk to anybody else. Hello, how you?
Like
doing?
approaching
or
them?
Just no.
Exactly.
Just walk right by. How you doing?
No.
You know what I mean? It's just like that's how normal common. I don't care.
I'm telling you right now,
it's the same in the
we all feel
not
we
in
all
there to be picked up, bro.
Let me be honest. This is the
Not
problem I think we have when it comes down to just like and something I learned and just from people I've watched over the years, and this just me. No books taught me this. Is that we look for the next level instead of a friendship. Getting to know the individual. Okay. And can't nobody tell me that. When we went all the years, let's keep it real, bro. From the time we was up in high school, we go to your high school, but let's just say high school, right? When we go to Commode Kitchen, Vegas people know that. I'm not going to Commode Kitchen just dance, homie. I don't even drink yet. I'm not old enough. I'm a cute pup, and I'm looking to see what female I'm going to be able to try to pull that night. Unless I got a girl I'm dealing with at that time. You feel me?
That's if I brought her with me.
As the time went, and now I'm from there, and I'm a college student, or I'm in that realm. We got all kinds of clubs we can name it that era. What was the object of going to the club? There's an objective before the club, and there's an objective when we get to the club.
But I feel
and there is an objective after the club, and that is carried all the way through our teen, young adult, adult. It comes back to self, right? It comes back to looking at self, and we ain't really had nobody like, hey, man, you ain't supposed to look at a woman like that. Excuse me. We know the basics about opening the door, closing the door, get some flowers. But we were able to take that theory and use it for our own benefit. You feel me? We never been able to just like, let's just go drive here. I can ask this question right now. How many men can sit here and say, you and a woman, we're going to go to California on a trip to the beach, and you do nothing on the trip, but maybe kiss? Majority of the men's gonna be like, it ain't happening. I'm not even gonna go. It's a waste of my time. That's a problem. And that's something I identify. Instead of us just getting to know. That should be something special.
Weren't there?
I agree. The courting process.
That should be something special.
It's something that's a lost art. Period.
Instead of me looking at a Cardi B and she get on here and describe how before she got with Offset, her fellatio, and how she does the fellatio. Hell, you gonna make the average man like Offset. Ooh.
He put his wife. He put his wife on Instagram Live, I think, and was like, "Time for that whoopty." Was like,
"It's 4 o'clock in the morning."
This your baby. This your wife, the mother of your children, and you just like,
I can't block
like
this.
You know, you got.
She ready for it? Hey, that's his wife though.
You got it.
So why put her out there like that? Is my
point. But look, this is. I'm telling you, this is just what.
Yeah, it's great when you don't have your phone in front of her.
You got Nicki Minaj who has this. She's it's just like anybody at a certain level in hip hop or whatever. We know this. Okay, she's got videos of the female right now. You go online. You feel me? Right now. So what are you feeding? At least when at least when I grew up and I had a person like Tupac. Okay, when he shot the gun because the off-duty cop was beating the dude down. That's a difference. He wasn't on, and we know what Tupac did, but we ain't never seen him on no video. Oh yes, that knob. Oh, woo, yeah. You feel me? It's a difference, and we are in dangerous times, especially for a man. For a man, What do they name somebody right now that a man can look at on that level and be like, yeah, I like that. That yes.
They out there. They not. There ain't many famous ones.
Yes, that's a lot. That says a lot.
That's deep.
That says a lot.
Culture goes a long way.
The one person I could say that, even though she might be off topic, she might be left or right, it's just because what I seen was presented is Candace Owens.
That's somebody that you could bring home to mom.
I don't know a relationship situation.
That's what the scary part. But when I see her dress,
did you dare say that in front of me?
I'm saying it, bro. Ain't that deep? But when I look at her, when we look at her, how is she carrying herself?
She's definitely carrying herself.
It does not have. I have none. Like I said, her personal opinion. Yeah, we probably wouldn't get along.
That's something else.
You feel me? But when I look at like, whoa.
I couldn't tell you the size of her ass or her boobs.
I wouldn't care. Like, how many of us can sit there and say that?
But I could picture every other woman we just brought up. I could tell you their body measurements damn near. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
That's my point. Like I'm agreeing with you in that sense. But the fact that you would bring her up of all people is super crazy.
It's a great point. It's that great point. It's that deep.
But I would ask this. I can remember being in high school and college era where there were people who was fast and who was all about that, getting the body count up and as much sex as you could possibly get. More men than women, but there was girls too who was kind of proud about how they work. Right? But for the most part, they kind of kept it a little bit to themselves. Even if they sex game was off the chain, it wasn't really a thing to brag about in general. There were exceptions to the rule. Then there were also people who was very coupley in 6th grade and in 8th grade and in 9th grade and in 12th grade, and maybe very on and off, or maybe just together since been together. So I feel like there was
hands in the butt pockets,
a bigger range, a bigger kind of scope of things of ways to move a generation or two ago, that I see the scope getting smaller.
Because everything is so in your face. I could literally... you could have just told me something right now, and I could send that over to Louisiana in 2.3 seconds.
Yeah.
So is it a matter of... Oh, man, I keep going back to the same subjects. I think our culture is changing. I think that our society is changing. And I think that when you make things like TikTok and when you make things like streaming and you have all access to all... Like, our attention span was 12 minutes. Back when I was a kid, you could watch 2 movies in the course of a day. Now it turns into 30-minute shows, and then 15 minutes. Now it's a...
So who do we blame?
Now it's a 60-minute TikTok.
Let's
now it's a 60-minute TikTok.
Who
so you have
there's some more